Hey, what's going on? Photoshop Warrior here, savagely battling my way through yet another piece. So, thank you for joining me. Now, if you remember in the last video, we added in her weapon here, and I said that I wasn't totally happy with the way it looked. I thought it looked a little too rendered up. I mean, it is a rendering, it's not a picture, and that's the problem. I just didn't think it looked realistic enough. I found a new image, an actual picture, and I'm gonna use this instead, just because I think it will look a lot better and a lot more realistic. So I'm gonna clip this out, and we're gonna use this one instead. All right. So let's select that, and let's bring that in here. And this one's also nice because it has some red and black, so it'll match your costume better. So this one will just be better all around. Just gotta get it to the right angle. And I think I'll position it so her hand is on the grip. I assume that's a grip. I really don't know, but it looks like a grip to me, so I'm gonna pretend it's a grip. I'm gonna take this finger here, just mask it off. Oop, mask it off. Paste it in the back, and just position it in the back so you can't see the remnant of that chain. And I'm just going to darken it up a little bit. Yeah, I need to fix that mask a little bit. There's still a little bit of a line like right there, so just clean that up and get rid of it. And I'm gonna make another layer behind her weapon, and I'm just gonna paint in back here so you don't get that overlap of the background. So just put that all into a group and call it weapon. And let's make a layer and clip it to the weapon. Put it on multiply. And we'll just add some shadows where her hand is, and some shadows behind her body. Yeah, I think that works better. All right, so if we consult our reference again, you can tell she's wearing some sort of collar. It's just like a black leather strap with some gold emblem thing on it. Yeah, you can't really see what's on the emblem, just some sort of marks probably. But so we're gonna add that color in next. So let me just pull up my reference, and I can close out that image. I don't need it anymore. So let me clip this out. So let's select that, copy it, go to her neck. Let's see, head, right about there. Scale that down, of course. Right about like that. Let's darken up these edges. I'm actually going to put it down a little lower so it doesn't overlap the chin at all. Alright, so I just got to re-warp that. And put a little bit of a drop shadow on that. All right, that's good for the leather part, but now let's add in the little gold emblem. So of course I got a picture ready for that. And I don't know what that says, but not a big deal because you won't really see it on the final image. It'll be too small. All right, so let's bring that in. Scale that down. Gotta flip that. Make it a little bigger. You know what? I think I'm gonna bring down the collar even more because I want it to stay underneath the chin. That'll be fine. So we're gonna warp that a little bit just so it fits the same. Just so it's at the same angle. And it'll make it easy for us to blend the two together. All right, so let's put a mask on that layer. Turn down the hardness, the opacity. And we can blend the two straps together. The color doesn't quite match, but we'll fix that in a bit. And I gotta put a mask on the back part and take it out here. And here. Just turn down the outer glow. Let's make the drop shadow a little farther. And turn it down a little bit. And I'm also just going to paint in some shadows. All right, so let's zoom out and see how that looks. That looks pretty good, but I think it's a little too close to her chin. Like the gold part here, it's like right on the edge of her chin, and I don't like that. That just creates kind of like tension when you have two things just like barely almost touching like that. So I'm just gonna move everything down a little bit. All right, that's better. Gonna add a little bit of a highlight on the strap here and there. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, I think that looks good. So let's finish up her arms here because I still need to finish the detail on her forearms. Because if we go back to our reference, she has these kind of she has like these like guards on her arms. So let's do that next. So for her her arm guards, I think I'm just gonna cut this piece out of this guy's armor right about there. that up there and that. And then we'll just cut from there to there. And I don't want all this stuff, so let's get rid of that. I can probably just clone stamp that out. Let's try that. That works too. So let's select that. Which arm should we do first? Probably doesn't matter. Actually, this is going to need to overlap the jacket, so I'm going to have to bring this up. Where's our jacket layer? Jacket. Am I blind? Where's the jacket layer? Am I blind? I'm totally blind. Oh, it's all the way up top. No wonder I didn't see it. I'm blind, for the record. So you want to put it right about there. And I'm just going to duplicate that. And let's put that in a group. Just call it arm guard. Arm guards. Plural. I spelled guards wrong, but no one has to know. So let's warp this a little bit to get it to fit how we want. Maybe bring up the hand guard as well. Tuck the arm guard kind of behind the hand guard. That kind of works. All right, so let's go to liquify. I'm just going to tweak the shape of that a little bit. And we're going to liquefy these little strings so they kind of wrap around our arm. So put that mask on that. And just get rid of what I don't want. Down here, get rid of that. And just darken those up. All right, so now I need to fix the shape of the end here because it's a little wonky. So I'm just gonna make a path and I'm gonna chop off part of this end. Like right there, to there, to there. And I'm just going to delete that. All right, so this rope right here doesn't really look right yet. We want it to look like it kind of just wraps around it, but right now it just goes straight and this gets chopped off. So let's go back into that samurai image we just used. And I'm just gonna take this piece of the rope. And I'm gonna paste that in. Gonna fade those two together. Then I'm just gonna clone stamp out this part here. And there's like a weird blue highlight here, so I want to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna make a new layer. I'm gonna put it on color. I'm just gonna paint it with the gray and get rid of that. All right, so you see on the hand guard, there's a little kind of highlight over here. So I'm just gonna take a sample out of that, make a new layer. I'm gonna clip it to here. I'm just gonna paint in like a similar highlight, just so the two match up. And I need some shadows underneath that guard, so I'll make a shadow layer. And I'm just gonna paint in some shadows on her jacket. And now painting some shadows on her arm. All right, I think that looks good, so we're gonna do the exact same thing over here. So let's take all of that and just reflect it. And again, gonna have to bring up this hand guard to here. Get it in front. You know what? I think I might be better off moving these all down here. So that they're all behind her thigh here. I gotta reposition this. And gotta mask out her jacket to where it overlaps the guard. Alright, so I don't want the highlights on her two arm guards to match, because again, I don't want it to look like it's just the same thing copied twice, even though it obviously is. So I'm gonna try to match up the highlights to match more with this hand guard. So let's do a little dodging here to lighten it up to match this highlight here. You got a strong highlight like right there, so we'll do a bit of dodging just to try to match that. And I got a stronger highlight like right on her hand here, so I'm gonna paint that in. And here we got our thigh like right up against the guard here, so I'm just gonna paint a little bit of a highlight from her thigh, because you'd probably see that a little bit reflected in the black. Like right there, and right there. And turn that down a bunch. And just blur it out. Just a subtle little detail of her thigh reflection. Alright, so now I gotta paint some shadows underneath that. So let's start up here. I've had this big white chunk on her hair for too long, so let's get our hair more refined. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate that back hair layer. I'm gonna turn one off and gonna put a mask on the top one. And I'm just gonna mask off all the white roughly. Make sure we get a nice soft edge. And let's turn that back layer back on. Put it on multiply. And that'll get rid of all of our whites. But I still got a little bit of an edge like right there. And you can see here it's a little dark. You can see the edge. So I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to clip it to that layer. And put it on overlay. And I'm going to paint with white. And that'll get rid of that edge. Here I gotta paint it back in. Alright, so her hair is looking a lot better. And you can see the tip of the her weapon sticking up back here, which I like. Alright, so her costume is almost done, and all we gotta do now is figure out what's going on down here with her leggings. So I think for her feet, I'm not gonna do like shoes or boots or anything. I'm just gonna do like black foot wraps, like kind of how I have her hand with these red wraps. I'm gonna do something similar just with black. So I got an image for that. And this dude kind of has what I want with these foot wraps, so gonna take the wraps from here. You know, I could probably just get away with using this guy's toes. I was gonna use her toes originally, but I might be better off just using this guy's toes. I don't think you'll notice that it's a man's toes as opposed to a woman's toes, so that's probably not going to be an issue. So let's paste that foot in. See how that looks. I mean, yeah, I'll just use that guy's toes. I don't think it matters that it's a guy's toes. I don't think anyone's gonna notice. So I'm just gonna warp that to fit her leg position a little better. So let's mask off the bottom of her leg there. And put a mask on that and just fade that a little bit. Alright, so let's add in her other foot. bring that in. Call that foot number 2. That already matches pretty good. We can just kind of stick it right there. Just gotta warp this part a little bit. And just erase her leg out down here so you can't see it. And fade this top part out so it blends. Alright, so her feet are done, even though she now has man's feet, but I don't think anyone's gonna notice. And I was hoping to completely finish up her costume in this video, but it's actually getting a little late and I'm gonna stop it right here. I mean, her costume is almost complete. I just want to add a little more details to her leggings here and maybe add some more like straps across here. Maybe add some sort of like knee pads. I'm not sure yet, but other than that, I think her costume will be done and then we can move on to the background, which shouldn't take too long. So I'm thinking one more video and we'll be done. So thank you for watching and take care.